We are live at Lunch Break Live. Chef Denise, take it away.
Hi, everyone. From Ningbo here in China. Today, we're going to be making Ma Po tofu. Ma Po tofu is a traditional Sichuan dish. It's usually quite spicy. The version we're going to make today is a very healthy version. It's just right, not too spicy, but very flavoursome. So I have tofu here at the moment, and I'm going to chop my tofu up into cubes. Now, I'm sure everybody has heard of tofu, but do you know some of the interesting facts about tofu? I'm sure that my American friends, you probably tell from my accent that I'm Australian, I'm an Aussie, but Benjamin Franklin, I believe, is credited for actually making tofu popular in the USA, like bringing it to the USA, which is quite an interesting thing. And later, Frances Moore Lapp was a lady, I think it was a lady, could have been a man, the name like Frances, in the 1970s made eating tofu very popular. The book that Frances Moore Lapp wrote was called Diet for a Small Planet. I believe that there is a version, Diet for America or something, but the Diet for a Small Planet was a book that I read when I was 18 years of age, nursing in Brisbane, Australia. And as a result of that, I went plant-based. Now that was, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm nearly 60 now, so that was about 40 years ago. 今天我们会做那个麻婆豆腐的。麻婆豆腐是一个很传统的那种菜，在四川，我做的没有像那个当地人做的这么好。可是今天我们做的是那个外国人喜欢吃的那种麻婆豆腐。So what I'm going to do now is I have some peppers. 我现在有一点那个红椒，然后就会把它切了小块。Okay, so I'm just going to chop up my peppers nice and small, and taking very good care not to cut my fingers. It's my first time on doing this sort of thing on TV like this, and a little bit nervous. By the way, it is, let me see, it's 4:30 a.m. here in China.
And we are coming to you live. We are collaborating with Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine's One Healthy World program, which is bringing an international flair in multiple languages. Denise Bradford is a Food for Life instructor who started the Healthy Family Nutrition Program out of your center there in China. Tell us a little bit about your journey while you are making this delicious dish. Take it away.
Okay. Well, like I said, I was 18 years old when I went plant-based, and I was nursing, and I saw so many people in the hospital having diseases because of their lifestyle and their eating habits. I was fortunate to meet a man who was a Seventh-day Adventist, and he was in his 80s, and he impressed me with his health. He wasn't a patient at the hospital. He was actually doing some, I guess, sort of missionary work. He was visiting some of the sick patients, and he was so healthy and vital. And I asked him why he was so healthy, and he told me that he ate a plant-based diet. And then shortly after that, I read Diet for a Small Planet, and I became plant-based. Shortly after I finished nursing, I ended up studying Chinese. 我是在昆山大学毕业了，我是中文系毕业了，然后我在台湾就是学中文的。And then I went to Taiwan for a year while I was a student, and Taiwan was full of vegan and vegetarian restaurants. So it was like paradise for me because when I was plant-based, I literally only knew 2 other people who were plant-based. It was really not enough.
This is incredible. This is the center that you created called the Essential Wellness Center is one of the first centers in China providing plant-based education and resources. This is just incredible. And you were sharing with me earlier that there are 7 million people in your quote unquote small village there. And you are making an impact with them by providing this education about how to have more plants on their plate, food for life institution education. This is just incredible. Now, tell us a little bit about this dish that you're making and why it's one of your favorites.
Yeah, it's actually a favorite of my daughters. My daughters grew up here in China. So just carry forward. I've been in China for 23 years now. So that's a long time. I've seen a lot of changes here. And Ma Po Tofu, that's the correct name. Ma Po Tofu is well, I've got my hands free. Oops. These are the characters. So that's tofu. You can see it's T-O-F-U, but in Chinese, it's pronounced tofu. Tofu. Okay, sit down here. And Ma Po Tofu actually means pockmarked old woman tofu. Now, there's a story behind that because apparently, this is what my students tell me, that there was a restaurant owner in Sichuan about 150 years ago, and he had a very famous restaurant. Anyway, he passed away, and his wife was left running the restaurant on her own. And apparently, it was quite hard work, and she created this dish, which became her signature dish. And Ma Po Tofu is one of those dishes. It's almost like mashed potatoes to Chinese people, you know. You go pretty much any restaurant, you can ask for Ma Po Tofu, and they'll make it for you. And I worked out yesterday, based on the ingredients, it costs roughly, at least here in China, it costs roughly about $2 US to make a whole dish of Ma Po Tofu, which is pretty cheap.
Now, we have a question about tofu from China. Is it different than what we have here in the United States or that's available in the UK?
That's a good question, actually. I have been to America a couple of times, and I have been in your supermarkets. I didn't really get to go to many Asian markets, but I would assume that they're probably fairly similar to the Asian markets in Australia. And what I can say is the variety of tofu that you can get in the USA or in Australia is much more limited. I went to my tofu maker this morning.
We are live with Lunch Break Live, and stay tuned. We've got more for you coming all the way from China. We are bringing to you live this delicious recipe and unbelievable. Yes, and we are coming back to you shortly. Hang in there. I just want to give you a little bit of background on One Healthy World. Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine has provided these incredible instructors, the Food for Life instructors, and we have been learning all about delicious food from around the world. So stay tuned. Coming back to you soon. Bye-bye.